Hey guys, what's up? This is Yahya, one half of Talk. So usually my videos are about sport and also about pretty sport. The sport of there's something that basically bothers me, and I'm just kind of venting on this, and whoever watches this, and whoever doesn't. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just venting in hopes that this may help someone. That's my intention, to help someone. Now, as a continental African myself, having my roots in Mauritania and other West African countries, the so-called conscious community, the so-called woke community, the so-called pro-black community, I don't want to have anything to do with, okay? And yes, you may think I'm arrogant, you may think I'm sounding like pompous or something like that, but no, that's not the case at all. It's just that when I look at the pro-conscious or the woke community, they're doing the same things that Europeans have done to us for centuries, okay? And still are doing in Africa as we speak right now. I'm just going to compare and contrast, okay? These so-called woke people asking for donations to build schools, asking for things like money to fund their own desires, not even to do anything constructive, not even to train people to learn how to do something constructive, is what really boggles my mind. Because you claim to hate the white man's way of doing things. You claim to hate these things, but you're taking a page right out of his book. Okay? What you're doing is no different than what a charlatan preacher does on television. You see people like Joyce Myers, they have private jets preaching this prosperity gospel, okay? And taking your money while you're not prospering yourself. And the same thing happens in Africa. You have these pseudo pastors who claim to be enlightened and have divine intervention, and they're taking their own citizens' money and leaving them even more destitute than they already are themselves. And this does not sit well with me, because I've seen like just different videos, different people even approach me talking about how woke and how conscious they are, and and trying to solicit me to their cause, trying to tell me that, oh, you just still believe in the white man's religion, or you still believe in the Arab's religion, not knowing what religion I believe in, not knowing that for me, religion is a private matter, a personal matter, a matter that you keep inside of you that will manifest itself through the actions you do, through how you carry yourself, and just basically on your spiritual practices as well. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about too, is that a lot of these so-called pro-awoken people, so-called conscious people who claim that they have a grasp on African spirituality really don't know shit about African spirituality, really have not set foot on the continent of Africa to learn about African spirituality. So it does not sit well with me, when you're claiming something where, like, for example, I just saw this one video saying that, like, the doggone people of Mali, that they were homosexuals and that they viewed homosexuals as gatekeepers. And I have family in Mali. I have my cousin in Mali, and that has never, ever, ever came out of their mouth. Those, as a matter of fact, they like to keep more than one wife around, you know. They like to spread their seed a lot. And so with that being said, it's complete rubbish. And that's why it doesn't sit well with me, because not only are you like fooling the people, you're fooling, you're using my continent, you're using my home continent for your foolishness, you know. And so that's why it doesn't sit well with me, you know. And I'll give you another example. And I'm sorry to use names, but I'm going to use names. People like Polite. Okay, you claim that all these religions are bad. You claim that all these religions are like man-made. You claim all of this stuff, this enlightenment and things like that. But yet you're still practicing what you're preaching against by swindling people out of their money, like you're a church yourself, and using it for your own desires, not even using it to build some kind of infrastructure, not even using it to empower people to, you know, do for self, not even using it to help people think with their own head and walk with their own too. You're not doing any of that, but yet you're preaching against it. And yet, from what I've seen in your videos, you like to mingle with white people anyway. Hell, it's a matter of fact, I'm just going to call it spade a spade. You like to be a plantation buck anyway. I mean, from what I've seen, you like white women a lot as it is, you know. So that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to leave it there for that. And then another example is Nature Boy. This so-called Nature Boy character. Like, okay, you're claiming that you're in one with nature. You're claiming that you're getting these vibrations. You claim all of this stuff, yet you're still soliciting people for their money. You're still asking for donations. You're still saying things like buy my cookbook and stuff like that. You're still saying things like, oh, we're going back to the source, such and such, didn't eat, we're always on a vitamin B12 diet and such and such. First of all, us Africans, we've always eaten meat, okay? There's no, I mean, if you go to the continent of Africa, I mean, probably less than 1% are going to be a vegan, okay? And that's not by choice. That's just by what they have available for food. Okay. Even in my tribe, you know, we're known for our dairy. We're known for that kind of stuff, but we still eat meat, you know, we still eat fish and things of that nature. So that's why I feel a certain way. And then the biggest thing that really disturbed me about this Nature Boy character is you're talking about like nudity, casual nudity, that Africans were naked, Africans, you know, practice nudity, this, that, and the other. You're bunching all of us Africans in one jar, okay? And I don't sit in that. That doesn't go well with me, you know, that really doesn't go well with me at all. You doing things like that, because there's some African tribes, like my own tribe, that we wear clothing, and we wear a lot of clothing because certain garments are designed to keep you cool in the desert or in wherever you are. They're designed to keep you cool. They're designed to keep circulation flowing in the desert. So this is one thing I dislike when you pigeonhole us, and all these so-called woke people pigeonhole all of us Africans in one jar. You know, mind you, I've left Africa a while back, but you know, I've taken holiday back, visit my family. Mostly all of my family is in Africa still. So I've taken holiday and done this, that, and the other, and still stayed connected with my code of conduct and things of that nature. So this is why I know what half of these people are saying is like bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's total bullshit. If you're really woke or conscious, you will actually go to the continent instead of swindling people out of money for Bentleys and mansions in Beverly Hills and front row seats at Lakers games. You would go to Africa yourself, and you would possibly build something or contribute to African society. And the killing thing is about these groups is they claim to be so pro-black, so pro Pan-African, and this, that, and the other, so woke, but they're getting their sources from European writings. That's the thing that really kills me the most. You're like using sources from European writings. You're using sources that tell a narrative how a European sees it instead of how an African sees it. Half of these guys haven't heard of the likes of Sheikh Anta Diop. Half of these guys haven't heard of the likes of Hampati Ba. Half of these guys haven't heard of the likes of even Van Sertima and the like thereof, And so this is why I can't take them serious. This is why I will criticize them. This is why I will call them out on their bullshit. This is why it may seem to them, and seem to Black Americans that I'm standoffish. But no, it's not that I'm standoffish. It's just the simple fact that I don't want to. I don't have time to debate with them, because it's just going to lead to them trying to get their point across by any means necessary, when really they don't have a point to get across, except for they're just doing it to pretty much swindle people, their whole movement and stuff like that. But as an African who studied the likes of Amilcar Cabral, who studied the likes of Thomas Sankara, who studied the likes of Samora Machel and the like thereof, those leaders that I just mentioned were actually trying to add and actually enlighten the people about the situations in which they were in. They were trying to make people aware that, hey, there's something, another option out there that will add to your life, that will empower you in your life. They actually were involved in that, and so this involvement, just to keep it like brief and stuff like that, this involvement may mean things like agriculture, like grassroots education, learning more about the land, learning more about like ways to learning more about ways to get subsistence, basically, and the like thereof. And another thing too that I really dislike about the whole like awoken thing. This is what really gets on my nerves, because I come from a society and I come from a culture where, like, sometimes even your women are your teachers. Like, your women, like your aunt, your mother, they're your teachers. They sometimes like put you on things more so than your dad, because your dad is out working. This is why I dislike the most. And you can call me a simp if you want. I don't give a shit. But most of the time I see these these woke conscious people, what they do is they use it. They basically use the conscious tag for getting pussy. Like that's what it is. That's what it seems like it is for. It's like getting pussy. For example, like Polite, when you look at him, he'll talk about all this conscious thing, and you'll see people down in the comments, surprising. Well, I don't know if it's surprising, but a lot of people down in the comments are like white women who were like, oh my God, you're so intelligent and this, that, and the other. And so I'm pretty sure that with that being said, he takes heed to that, and he goes on, he thinks with his dick more than he does his head. And the same thing with the Nature Boy guy character is that he does the same thing. You know, he'll talk about his carbonation and his vitamin B6 diet and stuff like that. And people will become enlightened and or so-called enlightened, and then he'll go to them, and you know, courtship begins, and then all of a sudden they're there with him, and he's probably dipping his stick in them as well. I mean, like, you know, you claim all of this enlightenment, but you're doing things detrimental to, like, the Black family. I mean, you're basically condoning swirling, you know, because you let anybody in, and you know, you show these, like, you know, no disrespect to him, but you show these like Becky's and stuff like that, and you let them in, and they become part of your community. And eventually, I know, like, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, that you dip your stick in their cookie jar as well, you know. And so that's the point I'm trying to drive across. Like, that's why, you know, like, it's sad that I have to explain myself like this, but this is the reason why, like, Black Africans, like continental Africans, distance themselves, like, from so-called woke and conscious people, because of the simple fact that you're using, like, unproven pseudosciences to, you know, win people over that are not African at all. You know, like, pedophilia is not African. That's a European concept that was brought there, but yet you have some of these conscious people actually vouching for pedophilia, you know? Saying something like sickle cell is good for you is not African at all. I don't know where some people get this stuff from. As a matter of fact, one of the hip hop rappers who just passed away, I think his name was Prodigy, he said he had sickle cell and he hated every moment of it, and it was not fun. So what he did is he changed his diet around, and it actually helped him. You know, it actually like made that, it actually contained the sickle cell. So if sickle cell was such a good thing, then why would he change his diet to not have it anymore? You know, that's what I have to say. And there's one final point I want to drive home about this whole conscious woke community. You saying and bumping your chest saying that you're conscious, you're woke, and that other people are asleep, and that your vibrations are higher than other people. What this just shows me is that you're an arrogant asshole, basically. You know, because in my opinion, and how we were taught in Africa, the true awoken guy, he's not going to tell you everything. He's not going to just say that he's woke. He's not going to say that. Those words aren't going to come out of his mouth. You know, sometimes that awokenness will just manifest itself through, without saying too much, through things that aren't the norm, like breaking the laws of physics and things of that nature, which I will not get into because I'm not going to, I don't want to put like, I don't want to put like my elders out there like that, but let's just put it that way. And so, you calling people you calling people like like not woke and not conscious and stuff like that, that's just showing that you're arrogant, and that's just showing that you're wearing this badge to say, oh, I'm better than you, or I'm this, or I'm that, when in my opinion I could be wrong. The ultimate goal of consciousness, true consciousness, is divine realization, becoming one with your Lord, your creator. And what I mean by becoming one, I mean becoming an extension of him, exhibiting his traits. For example, we can all agree that God is merciful because he hasn't destroyed this earth yet. Extend mercy to people. We can all agree that, God can be just. So extend that justice, make sure your brother or sister does not suffer any injustice at the hands of the people you claim to be against, So this is what I mean. And then another thing too about the whole woke and conscious thing that I don't get on with is none of the African leaders ever in their life referred to themselves as woken. Pre-colonial leaders didn't say that. Post-colonial leaders did not say that. Okay? So this is why I don't subscribe to any woke people who claim they're woke. I don't watch any of these. I don't study the teachings of these people who claim that they're woke. And I definitely sure as hell don't donate to people who claim that they're building schools, or that they need money, they need donations to complete their law degree and things of that nature. I don't do it. And so, I'm done. This is just me venting. This is just me showing that, really, the whole conscious thing, in my humble opinion, I could be wrong. And if anybody watches this live, feel free to correct me. I have no problem. But the point I'm trying to drive home is that if you say you're conscious and you're promoting swirling, you're promoting plantation buck dancing, you're promoting bedwitching, you're promoting pedophilia, you're promoting swindling and not working for yourself, you're promoting pseudosciences that you have no proof on, you're promoting theories that you got from other people, and those other people themselves have problems, then you're not conscious at all. You're just a tool of the people you say you hate. You're just doing their work for them, And so that's why I'm going to say that, us continental Africans, it's not that we have anything against you. We just don't want to be involved in your bullshit. Point blank, period. I'm off. If I offended someone, I'm sorry. It was just my venting. Out till the next one. Njaba.